Hi guys, this is a database login system developed in Java NetBeans. Okay, I'm going to start by entering the wrong details in there, and this is what we get. There we go. So once we click on OK, what will happen is the system will actually clear those text box. Okay, this login system was developed in conjunction with the vehicle inventory management system. So let's enter the correct details and you guys will see that what will happen now. There we go. We now gain access straight into the login system. So you just complete the details in there. Email address. Okay, we want the following item. I actually have this tutorial on YouTube of vehicle management system developed using Java NetBeans. So if you want to have a look at that, be my guest. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take you guys straight into Java NetBeans development environment, and we'll put one of these together. So let's do that now, guys. Okay guys, let's start a new project. I'll start by clicking on File, New Project, and right there make sure Java application is selected. Click on Next, and right here I'm going to enter a name for that, so I just call it Vehicle. I'm going to use lowercase vehicle login. That is just the name of my application because it's based on creating a login system. Alright, that's the name of my application. I'm going to uncheck this create main class there. So let me just copy that and go to finish. Now my vehicle login project, I believe, is ready for us to start work on. There we go, right there. I will now right click on vehicle login system, go to new, and let's select JFrame form. In there the name of my project will be vehicle login, one word, and the package name is vehicle login with an S, and click on finish. There we go. So I'm going to right click on it and let's select set layout, and in there let's select absolute layout. There. The next thing is come straight to the property of that very form. If you like, you can give your project a name, so I'm just going to call that vehicle login system. Let's say with database, because that's the whole idea, with database. There, that's the name of my, or that's the title. Now come straight in here. You see where we have code, or we can even take care of this side of the properties first. So let's set this size. The preferred size is going to be 1380 width and by 800. That is the size, and I'm just going to copy that and come to where we have minimum size. I'm going to enter that same size for the minimum size. Okay, take note of my preferred size, 1380 by 800, minimum size 1380 by 800. And the next thing I'm going to do is here where we have default close operation, I'm going to change that to dispose. Make sure you do that. Change this to dispose. Okay, so we've set a couple of properties there, 1, 2, 3, and 4 properties that we've taken care of. The next one is go straight to the codes. Okay, the tab with the code, and change the design size to 1380. Depend on what you want the size of your frame to be. Then generate center. I'll check that so that my application is centralized there. So I've finished with that now. So the next thing I want to do is let's add a couple of panels on board. right there. I need a panel here. So that's my panel where I have all my login details and so on. Then go to the properties of that very panel, go to properties, select border right there. Okay, and let's change that to, let's go for the title first, and within the title we can just call it vehicle login system. Now change the font of that to approximately 48, make that bold, click on OK. Now where we have justification, we're going to now change that to center. The next thing is we come straight to the border right here, click on border, and let's select bevel border. Instead of raised, we're going to change that to lowered. Click on OK and click on OK. There we go, guys. This is how, or that's how our interface looks like now. If you guys notice, while I was demonstrating, I showed you some design. You notice some design on my demonstration. So let's grab one panel here. Let's reduce that, about that, drag it down much. So that is the design that you saw earlier. All I just did was change it to bevel and lower it. Yeah, the first one is beveled. The second one, I'm going to copy this very one, copy, Control C, Control V, and I'll change the second one to the property of that to raise right there. So we can then copy that, paste, and bring it right down. So we have another one right down here. The next thing on that very one that you guys saw was I added a separator. There we go. We have one separator here. Let's drag it that much. One, copy that, paste. Now we have another separator on the side, 3 of those. Now select the properties of this very separator here, and let's change that, the orientation, we change that to vertical, and there we go. You can then copy this, copy one. So that is my design out of the way. Now we now need text field and label. Then we also need a password field. There we go, right there, and change, just copy that, paste it. Now we need 3 buttons. Let's come in here, let's grab this button. So the next thing I'll do is just give them a name. Obviously I'm going to call this one JTXT username, and this one is going to be called JTXT password. Right. So let's just speed up the appearance of the interface and get back to you guys. Okay, we finished with the design of the interface. That's the easy part. So let's start with the main thing, which is supposed, and that's supposed to be the database itself. So I'm going to exit. Obviously nothing is happening here. Now let's come into services. We'll come straight into services. Now the next thing is, let's click on this database itself right there. I'm not going to be using MySQL. I'm not using that. I am using the Java NetBeans building database, that is Java DB. Okay, I already have database in there, but for the sake of this exercise you should all have Java DB on your own system. Right click on it and let's create a new database, and that's my database dialog box ready. So I'm going to call that database vehicle database. Now we need a username, so let's just call it vehicle. Vehicle is my username. Now password, I will call it vehicle login. Click on OK. Now let's come back to the services right here. Okay, our vehicle database is created. There we go. That's our database there. It's just popped up. Alright, if you notice, we have a broken line in between this icon there, which means it's not connected. So to get it connected, right click on it and select connect, this very one. There we go. It is connected now. If you notice, the other two are not connected. I don't need them. This is the only one I'm working on. Okay, the next thing we want to do now is, let's drop this down. Just click on that. That is our database there. Click on the database. You see the tables. Okay, inside the table there's nothing in there. So right click on the table and select create table. Okay, let's give it a name. So I'm just gonna call it vehicle as well. There, that's the name of my table itself. Okay, now in here, add columns. So this column will be known as username, and type, that's supposed to represent data type. I'm just going to select, let's select varchar, this very one. Okay, it's left for you to select it as primary key, but I'm just going to leave it like that. Alright, so that is okay. Size, let's say about 50. Okay, that's fine. Then let's add another one. The other one I'm going to call that password. Select the same data type, virtual. So make that 50 as well, and I'm just going to leave it as none. Alright, that's fine. Okay, that's enough anyways. So I'm going to click on OK. There. So if I click on this database that is created now, or the table, there we go. Okay, I can also right click on it. Let's come into the view data and just enter some record in there. Click on view data, and right there, so we can always enter our record straight away. That's it right here. So click on insert record. That is it. Okay, in there, the username, so I can just call that Dean, and the password for Dean is going to be 007. So let's enter another one, another row. That can be Paul, and the password for Paul, let's go for 001. Maybe insert another one, maybe just one more. We call this one Tommy, and the password for Tommy is going to be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Alright, that's fine. Click on OK. There, so that's our table ready now. Okay, so we're going to be selecting from, select from vehicle. Okay, so we can then close this now that our table is created, and continue. Now the next thing we want to do is, I'm going to right click on this very login, and let's go straight to event, action perform, and right underneath my project name here. So I'm going to enter the following. Let's say Java dot SQL dot connect or connection, and let's give it a name. I'm just going to call it CONN, connect. Okay, equals, let's say is nothing there. The next thing is, I'm going to then call the results, let's say results set. So let's just call that as rs equals nothing as well. Those are the method I'm going to be using. I need one more. let me go for statements. So let's just call that st. Now if you notice I have error here, so all we just need to do is click and import java.sql result, and the next one is going to be java.bean. I don't want that, the bean. I'm going to change that to SQL, so that is fine there. Now underneath here, let me declare another one while I'm here. This is going to be for my exit, so I'm just going to call that jframe, call that frame there. Okay, let's click on there and import as follows. Okay, there we go, the error is gone. We might as well just import the following as well. Okay, take note of those imported libraries. Alright, so the next thing we want to do now is let's come into the right click on the login button itself, and let's select action perform, and right there inside the login button, what I'm going to do first is let me declare the following variable. So let's say string username equals jtxt username dot get text, and there we go. Just gonna copy this, copy, paste it right in there. Let's change the other one to password there, and change this to password as well in lowercase. Right, that's sorted. Okay, the next thing we want to do is to use an if statement to find out what's going on. Maybe we should just go for try catch. Yeah. So right inside try catch, the first thing I'm going to do is I will declare an integer, and this integer, let me just call it log equals 1. Okay, that's my integer there. I will use that to check the system. So the next thing I want to do is, let's say con equals driver manager dot get connection. There we go. Alright, and the connection I want you to get, now take note of this, I will now go straight into my services right here. Okay, now that is the database I developed earlier. Right click on that very database and let's select the properties. There we go, right there, and you see the database URL. Click on that and let's copy all of this. Okay, you can now copy it like that. Just press Ctrl C to copy it, and you can exit. Alright, right in there, open up a speech mark, paste that in there, and we also need, we have the database name, we need 2 more items, 1 and 2. This one is a password. Okay, and this one will be the database name. So let's go back in there and get that sorted. Right in here, let's drop it down. Okay, that's the database name. It's called vehicle. So we enter vehicle right here. Wrong spelling. And in here the login is called vehicle log in, semicolon in there. Okay, the next thing we want to do now is let's come in here and say st. Remember the variable we declared, that's for the statement, equals statement, and that is supposed to be the con for the connection dot create statement, this one, and enter semicolon in there. The next one, let's go for the result, that is equals to st dot execute query. Yeah, execute query, there we go, there. And the query, that will be select from vehicle, right? So close that. All right, this is a spelling mistake there. Okay, now, okay, what I will do is just finish up the code and then take care of this error. So let's say rs.next, and this is what I want the system to do. So let's put that inside the curly braces, right? So if our dot gets string, let's say equals username. So the first one there, so let's put a 1 there, the very first one we're talking of. Okay, dot equals username, that's the variable that I declared up here. Then we can say and the second one, okay, dot equals password, right? That's fine. Now the next thing we want to do is we can then say log equals 0. Then let's break, right? Okay, the next thing is underneath here I'm going to use an if statement again. So if my log, if log equals 0, I want to be able to open up the other program, and that's supposed to be the vehicle management system. So I will enter that in there. So me close here, I'm going to have to create a class there. Let's say create a class here so that I don't forget, right? Okay, that is the vehicle inventory system that I'm going to call. I'm going to embed that into the system. Okay, now try cache is in. I think I may have excess of this. Let's take care of all of these errors first. And let's go right up there and copy the name of our system first. Yeah, that's the name of our system. I'm going to copy that and paste that right in here. There. Now let's get rid of all of the errors individually. Start from here. Okay, all the errors are taken care of now. Okay, let me get rid of these. I don't need this because I intend, if we get the password right, I want the system to open up this very program there. So the next thing I want to do is to get rid of this very error. Let's get rid of this one first. So I'm going to create a class here. So let's call that private void. I think the class is called close me. Close follows mean, curly braces there, and in there you enter as follows. Okay, all right, so you're gonna have to import this library as well, window event and toolkits, which I've already imported onto the system. So if you notice, that error is gone apart from this one left. All right, those are the two events, one and toolkits. There's somewhere, there we go, that's toolkits there. Okay, now, okay, this error here has to do with, if you get the username right, this program will open up. Okay, so I've created a new object called car. All right, you see this very program. Let's go into the project itself where I created it. That is it right there. Okay, let me double click it for you guys to see. That's the program there. Okay, I'm gonna close it. Let's go back to my main project. But before then, I will then right click on this very program itself. Right click on it to copy it. It's copied now. Let's go straight onto my main project right here. That is it. Okay, you notice the arrow. Okay, in there, right click and paste. Okay, paste, refactor, copy, and then just click on refactor, and there we go. There, if you go into my project now, that is it right there. You see the arrow gone. That is the arrow gone. You see the name, Java vehicle, Java underscore vehicle underscore inventory, and that's it. The error is gone. Okay, the next thing we need to do is to run the program, but before we can do that, we need to import the library. Okay, in there. So I'm going to need the DeepNet. So let's right click on the library itself and go to add Java folder. And in here I need the DeepNet, I need a client, I need one more. Okay, let's just click on open for those three. I need one more. So those two are dev. I need one more to make it three. That will be right in here somewhere. So you guys can always go online to download that. That's it. Debbie driver, you can call it Debbie, whatever. Okay, click on that. So I have DeepNet client, DeepNet jar, and the Debbie driver jar. Have those three, 1, 2, and 3. So that will be all, I believe. So let's compile. Okay, compile successful. Let's run it and see. There we go, and let's enter details in there. I think the one I can remember is Dean, and let's enter the wrong password. No, that's incorrect. Okay, let's enter another one, form 001. There we go, guys. You see, it's working the way we want, so that is beautiful. So let's call it Canada close. Come on. And postcode, telephone number. Select the items that you want, select the car you want, and check out the total, receipt, and so on. Okay guys, that's very beautiful. So before I leave, let me just show you guys the lines of codes again. That's very important. Right in here, inside login, event, action perform, right in there. Let's try that again. Action perform, come on. Right, so inside the action perform, these are the variables that I declared for those two components, and here are the those are the two components. So those are the variables that store them. Okay, now I then use try catch just in case if there's any error. Then the connect variable, that's it. You need the driver manager. Okay, to help with the connection of the database, and you've seen how you can get all of this information. To get this URL, all you need to do is go to the project, go to the services, and right there, okay, right click and select properties, and right there, that's the URL. Just copy it and you paste it right there, and the name of your database, mine is called vehicle, so I enter vehicle for all of those databases. You see vehicle, so that I don't forget. Everything about it is vehicle, even the password is vehicle login. Now the statements, I then assign the con to the statement, then to the result, and right there using the while loop to verify the content inside those two values up there. Okay, and if that's right, this is what I want the system to do. Open up. Okay, I want you to open up the vehicle inventory system. Now you see this close. The whole purpose of this close is to close the application, is to close the login system. If it doesn't close the login system, supposing if I comment this out now, and you guys will see what will happen. Okay, although I have a class for it there, so let's comment that class out as well. Though I don't really need to, but let's comment it out. If I run the program now and enter the correct details in there and log on to the system, there we go. You see what happened? It just flashes and go. Alright, so you won't be able to see the system that you want. The whole purpose of that is to get rid of this. There's nothing in this too, is to get rid of that so that we can see this application. Alright, that's why that is there. So let's go back in there and enable it. Enable this one as well. And that reminds me, let me just copy this for my reset, copy that, and then come right in here, open up this. Okay, for the resets or cancel, right click, event, action, perform. Come on, and paste that right in here. That's for the cancel. Right now, the last one that is left is the exit. Inside the vehicle itself, I have an exit already, so I can always copy that. I have exit lines of codes in there. That's it. I'm just going to copy that right away. I've already declared my object on the other one right here, so let's come back in here. So right click and select event, action, perform. Event, action, perform. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, right in here, just paste that in there. Okay. This very object that is created, look at it right here. There, that's it right there. Okay, you must create that, and you need all of those libraries as well. So those were declared earlier, this object as well, and inside the login button itself you need all of these lines of code. So have a good look at it so that you can create the same thing there, and there we go. Then the class, this is to clear, exit the class that I created. Alright guys, so I'm going to compile again and run the program for you to see. There we go guys. So the other username, I think I have Tommy 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 login. There we go guys. So you see that. So with that, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you all enjoyed. So you all have a nice day now, and bye for now. Subscribe and like.